So I utilized that part. So what did that mean? That just, okay, what essence they thought I was in. How whether clever, fly, but also like vulnerable, emotional, and giving them R&B. Like, so I think this album has a nice scale of songs that fill every pocket, you know. So, and I think I'm not giving them 30,000 songs. I'm not giving them all these songs. So I'm like, damn, I can't even digest this shit. I'm only doing like 23, and then when we drop a deluxe later, it'll be a little bit more, but it won't be a lot, you know. So I just want to, so they sit with this album and be like, okay, cool, I fuck.
When you was making out, when you were just chilling, when you wasn't out there,
yeah,
who was you listening to in the game right now on the R&B side of things?
See, like my cousins, that we listen to nothing but trap music, so it'd be nothing but trap playing. But then like
who that trap playing? Who that?
Like ETSG, like I fuck with him heavy. His music hard. But shit, his Family Gunner album just stay on repeat because that's family. You already know, and his shit sliding. I let our joints shoot even third. You know, Lil Baby for sure. Damn, it's Baby King.
Okay, Baby King, yes.
Yeah, he hard. So like, we listen to that, and then you gotta like, we have vibes. So when we have girls over, we have like parties and stuff. We really like, if I'm not playing my music, sometimes I always play my shit. But we'll play like the Afro beats is heavy. Like I fuck with them heavy. Like all of how that genre is starting to blossom and become like getting this recognition is dope. I've been listening to that shit for a while, and then even me and Whiskey got like an Afro beats type song on my album that's kind of dope, and that's the first time like the world get to see us do a dope ass record on a big.
You want to shoot a visual for it?
Yeah, we about to shoot it. We actually got the yeah, I'm letting y'all in on the sneak preview, but yeah, we shooting it soon, so it's gonna be tight.
Oh, so you like that only listen? Do it seem like it's not a lot of R&B out there no more?
It's obsolete in the fact of it being primary, meaning like you used to listen to the radio and they had an R&B day where you had a section that just played. Okay, I know I'm gonna hear 7 R&B songs before. You know what I'm saying? And not to take anything away, hip hop has just been dominating shit. Like I think it can't hate on hip hop. I'm a part of it, so I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like to let all the hip hop be heard. But I feel like, not to sound lame when I say this, it's really no more artistry left in that type of showmanship playing. You know, a lot of the R&B people have to go introverted or look like they're emo to this is what we have to do. Like, and then if they're not that, people will give them just the neo soul type of genre. It won't just be an R&B. I don't feel that's right. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like there's a scarcity of confident males that can sing. You know what I'm saying?
Sing, dance, give them the whole show.
It's a lack of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I killed that. I'm just saying and I don't see it. Like, cause
I'm saying you killed that. I ain't seen nobody come after your shit. So it's just
I'm welcoming them though. Like, you know, I like to be where I'm at and show off how I got to show my shit off. But that shit, you get lonely if you in a lane where there's nobody there. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, oh, I'm so beyond these guys. It's just I don't see any visuals, and there's no outlets to show a lot of these visuals now too for artists, unless it's just like left field shit. Like, oh my god, it's just dope. It's not the physical person making you be like, oh shit. Like, I don't get that.
Here you are. See you later.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I don't have to be here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Do you know how many people, since when you first stepped in the game, just coming out of VA to now, that's history?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's thousands, tens of thousands of people that came through the industry.
Yeah.
Now, has there ever been a time where you just was like, this might be the end for me? Or that hard moment, when was that moment?
Hell yeah, like my early days of not knowing how to deal with pressure or whatever, I was like, you know what, shit, I ain't finna do this, take my ass back to the gym.
You gotta go with it.
Hey, what's happening with it, pimp? You know who it is. It's your boy LD. Hey, I know we ain't chopped it up in a minute, but I got a homie that needs something. And y'all just might make a perfect partnership. Let me read this thing. Looking for a professional operative to co-manage private intelligence business catering to celebrities and high net worth individuals. If that sound like you, nigga, you need to get your name on the lease over at Dynasty 8 Executive. And my boy gonna holler at you.
At one point, I was down, so I was in jail, like, damn. And the funniest shit, it's not the funniest, but it's like an uplifting part if you locked up, so you know, like.
Hold on, before you go into locked up, stories from the cell. We gotta put the stories from the cell. This is another episode of Stories from the Cell, brought to you by Chris Brown.
Story from the cell.
Now, go ahead and give him the story from the cell.
Now, so when you go to the roof or you go to like not the office, not the doctor's office, the lawyer's room, they got a special lawyer room if you meet with your attorney. So every time they would like usually they call your name like, oh, get ready, pack it up, boom, boom, boom. They'll play Lawyer over the speakers, blasting that shit. Nah, just put Lawyer. Lawyer went #1 while I was sitting just oh god. So that was like me thinking I'm gonna hang some shit up. And I was like, oh, all right, I got y'all. All right, for sure.
Hey, you in
A
jail.
lot of times too, when you at your lowest point in life, that's when you get your blessing.
Facts.
Because God, like,
I learned my lesson too, but
exactly, God, like, okay,
definitely nigga learned
you learned your lesson,
No.
nigga. You learned your lesson. I was just trying to teach you a lesson because you was getting a little big-headed.
Facts.
I had to sit your ass down for a month or two, a couple days, however long you was. You know what I mean? Okay, you learned your lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe in prayers that you were saying in that cell. I ain't doing nothing. I get the fuck out. He was singing, God, I ain't doing none of this shit.
The funniest shit, people like, yo, write songs in there. I said, fuck no. What am I write the evilest song in the world? I hate you.
See, you can't write songs in jail when you know you coming home. Like,
yeah, like
when you get to 5 years and you like, you up there and you like, fuck it. I ain't going away. Let me fuck it. My name is Swallow, and I'm the best. Used to be one of the niggas banging on his chest, niggas rapping in his yard or some dumb shit.
Now, what was you hooking up in there? You was making your own hookups in there?
yeah, I had sprayed like a motherfucker.
What type of
I gained so much weight. You ain't see the pictures when I got out of
The
jail.
guard was bringing that
Boy, I
nigga.
look like Sinbad on them pictures, boy. Boy, I look terrible here.
What was you making? What type of sprays was you making?
Shit, I made the craziest. My birthday, I turned 25 in jail, but I made a cake. But we took out, you know, when you get cornflakes and your cereal, take it out. You gotta lay the bread in there with the fudge wrappers and tweaks. But man, I had about 3 different candy bars in there with the bread. Put a little bit of milk in there so it can make it crust.
Yeah, he was on his
Now you know what's so fucked up about this?
Is that is jailhouse ingenuity?
This man never knew that CB was a prison chef. He never knew. His man over there like this.
He was a chef up north.
You was the prison chef. He was in there cooking that shit up. He told you all the ingredients, Twix, and cornflakes.
And he was excited, like, you made that shit when you came home?
Nah, I made the bread when I came home. I ain't gonna lie. It's inside the Fritos bag. Yeah.
See, I told you.
That's the one and done. You eat that one spray, you going right to shit.
Wait, hold the fuck up.
Now I don't know about your cholesterol and your health the next day.
That's a bunch of shit in there.
No, fuck this. Hold on. You mean to tell me
taste nowhere else.
I had to lose weight though. I was like 230, bro. I'm like, my normal weight is like 185. I was 230, but I was like a 44 weights, 46.
Nigga tried to lift that leg up when he came out. Give me a massage.
My outfits, I couldn't fit shit. I was like, ooh.
All that shit over there.
Yeah, I couldn't put none of that shit. Yeah, that shit was disgusting. I had to sew 2 jackets together to fit that motherfucker. It was terrible though.
But it really got your mind.
Oh, it got me right, for sure.
This episode of $1 Million Worth of Game is brought to you by Two Laws Records. One thing about Two Laws, listen, go to twolaws.com. This is where independent artists take control. I'm talking about from your basement to Berlin. Two Laws brings the world closer. I'm talking about this is not your average, but this ain't weak. Just put your stuff up, your music up, you send it up here, nothing happened. I'm talking about let this level the playing field with premier global partnerships, independent artists. Now, I'm talking about the access is like, man, unmatched. The access that independent artists have right now on Two Laws, this is, listen, man. You're not someplace you just upload your music.
Well,
Trying to sleep. Nigga want to sleep the whole time. Nigga be with that motherfucker sleep. That little ass pot, you need to put that motherfucker right here. Or put your envelopes on over that light.
Yup, envelopes over the light.
yeah, he reminisces as soon as you say anything. You know what I mean?
You gotta make it dark, and if they had the lights on 24/7, it's some jibs. I mean,
That shit be annoying.
different thing.
What up? Anything else you put over the light?
No, that's all I put over the light.
I'm just asking. I don't think
but
you
you
put sheet up or something.
No, ain't nothing else. But that shit really got your life together.
Facts.
Listen, I'm going out here and go to fucking listen.
Yeah, because it's like, when you in there, like, for me, I had stuff in motion already outside, like even the music, but it wasn't set in stone for me. Niggas be like, nah, we don't fuck with it. You know? For me, I was just like, look, when I get out here, stop being a dickhead, bro. Just get to it. They can't complain if you ain't doing nothing but doing music. So that's all I did since then. So yeah, I ain't really complained after that. I'm cool. I don't got to bang on them. Nigga be like, what's happening? What's up? Like, I'm glad I don't gotta be on that. That shit lame to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't work from no bullshit. You know?
That's what it's about. Staying away from all the bullshit and getting your money, man.
Yeah,
Being the best version of yourself. And that all come with time, man.
But don't get fucked up. Don't run over me with no bullshit.
Oh, no, they ain't playing. You an athletic nigga, man. Yeah, I got him too in that shootout too.
Hey, he won, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Usually I would talk shit. He beat me on my basketball court, bro.
At the crib.
Yeah, we had tied the tiebreaker that he just destroyed. Then we shot like a half court shot. He couldn't. So yeah, he left-handed. It's a.
And I'm gonna tell him, Lethal Shooter said, only person I ever dealt with that could even remotely fuck with you is Chris. Y'all be a good game one-on-one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He said that. He said that nigga can play.
But I was going. It was like 20%. I was, we were just shooting.
Yeah, me too. I was at 15.
Yeah, alright. But nah, yeah, Lethal Shooter. Yeah, he didn't play out here. We didn't play.
No, he got a lot of respect for your game though.
Yeah, I don't know how he shoot like that though. I'm confused. I'm like, bro, you got to be sitting out there for hours recording your video, then you come here and do that shit. I'm like,
no,
you really don't miss.
I tapped in with him when he was in Philly and shit. He really shoot that shit, man. So shout out to him. But he got a lot of respect for your game as a baller, not as a singer that play basketball.
Yeah, I be wanting all the smoke though. Everybody be running and doing all that political. Man, you calling me out? Hey, bro, it's basketball.
It's basketball.
I didn't say I want to beat your ass. I said I want to play basketball. So let's get it, man. I don't be turning down no phase on that basketball court. Yeah. And they be knowing that too. That's why I be like, who you think? Man, I'm cooking whoever.
That's how Damian Gillard feel. I ain't turning down no phase on that basketball. They never accept.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's how you be feeling?
That's how I be feeling. Like, they call me Damian Gillard, Chauncey Gillups.
Oh, word?
Grant Gill. Yeah, they call me Sam Gill, Sell. They call me every Gill. They call me every Gill except for Kendall.
Okay.
Look at him. He was a fucking puppy. You better not call me that.
Now, this new album coming out. Who else is on the outside of Wizkid?
Man, I got Lil Wayne on it. I got her.
Okay, Wayne.
Yeah, Ella May. Blast. Lil Baby. Anderson .Paak.
man. He doing his thing.
Yeah, me and him got a dope record we gonna push called Psyche.
Psyche.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fly. It's like fun summer song. So, but he's talented, super talented. But yeah, so and then yeah, that's pretty much everybody on the album.
Like, who is it you never worked with that you would work with?
Honestly, realistically, I probably said it probably once before, but probably Beyonce, only because of what that would look like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Us really do a dope song with both of us dancing in it. That would be like dope, like a check off my to-do list, like. That would be dope.
I realized y'all never had a record. I thought you had a record with everybody on it.
No, I think that's probably the only ones I haven't really worked with. But shit, I ain't turning it down. It's just we trying to see when it happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
So,
cause she ready to come out too.
Yeah, nah, she gonna have some shit though.
She coming out too.
Her shit be fire.
You already know she got the whole beehive.
Yeah, no, but her shit fire. You waiting? Oh, they wait to get off the bike. Hey, don't play with them. They waiting crazy is crazy, but yeah, hey man, hey, ain't nobody playing with the beehive. Y'all leave me alone, man.
They stick the shit out of you. You say one thing about Beyonce, the motherfuckers come and stick the shit out of you.
Yeah, you can't talk no shit about Beyonce.
They had you cancer. Yeah, you motherfucking cancer. You see something like that. Now, what's making movies?
Movies, no motion pictures that I'm working in as of yet, but developing actual shit that's not gonna be for theater, like the film and television side of stuff. I've been creating a lot of dope digital stuff too for like the NFT stuff. So we're gonna play in the metaverse with a lot of like concerts and different things that people wouldn't even think about, but it'd be dope shit because me and my team already kind of like specialize in doing that type of stuff. So a lot of the shit that I'm trying to do is more interactive with fans, stuff that they can have attainable at certain times. Like it won't just be like, okay, I just gotta come here. Like they can be a part of the whole experience with different things that I'm doing. So that's really what I'm trying to focus on and get into that technological space a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the future stuff. But at the same time, we grew up in the beginnings of the stage, so it's not like we're not old to the shit. Like, oh, how does this work? I feel like it'll create real a lot of young entrepreneurs quickly. You know what I'm saying? We're going that route. So especially for us, the youth, some black kids, our shit is creators.
When you doing art shit, you got all this great art that you create.
Yeah, I was just like music.
Yeah, well, I mean, the art in here, like,
and you did a lot of it.
Yeah, majority of the inside I did. I work with other artists outside, but they're like my homies, so we'll just have paint sessions. So we got like Defer, Blue the Great, Aaron Kai, Blue Monster, Nitro, Saturno, D Cozy, and myself. And then so James. So a lot of the outside of my house is all paint, it's all different things. Like it's just the whole house. But a lot of stuff inside I've been painting since I was young. My mom paints, so I kind of picked up that talent from her. And I just didn't want to just go ahead and do the art show and be like, oh, I like this paint. We can make my own shit.
You got so much shit in you. Yeah, I'm talking about every time you think you've seen everything, you see something else. And it's just like, it's unbelievable on some real shit.
I always tell people, you might check. Yeah. So that was like, it's like my interpretation of that. But like, I was that kid at that time in that movie. So I always look at it like, this would be in my Sims game. If you was to come to Chris Brown's house, okay, I expect to see this.
Did you accomplish your goal of creating a space where you never want to leave?
Yeah, I do. But I be trying to fight that too, because it's like I'll make most of the album and a lot of stuff here, we have parties or whatever, but I made it so that my house, I don't really have to go nowhere, But I love engagement. I like to be around energies and understand what's going on. Like I don't like to be out of touch with it. It's just life. So like I'll be here, for a little bit of time, and then it's like, yo, all right, let's just go out. Outside. I don't care who's on who, what's the club, what's up, let's just yeah, I gotta get out. Yeah.
So what's the song you created that came from you just going out and having a night in the club? And you just came back and banged it out.
It's one song called It's on my album. It's called MMMHHMM or some shit like that. But it's basically it's one of those vibes. I put ETSG on it, so he's on it, rapping on it. But it's a dope twist. It's still R&B, talking to girls like it's gotta get a taste. So that part of the song, you'll hear it when you hear it. But yeah, that one, and then another one I got is Alright, I took some mushrooms one time, right? And I was in the club. So it's a song.
Just one time.
Just one time. So it's mushrooms, I was in the club, but it's a song called Hit My Line, right? So when they hit this song, they'll know. I teased it a little bit on the internet before.
Now, what was it about? You telling her hit your line?
Yeah, like basically it was like you go to a club and then you might see a girl. Like I don't want to take anybody away from they significant other. But sometimes
it happens.
Yeah, like so if you go to a club and you see a shawty and she might be with somebody, right? But she like this, like she just stuck on you, so you be like, damn, I don't want to be rude. But then they make that contact or they get close to you just when people ain't looking or something, grab it under your arm and all that stuff. Like so one of the songs, the main line and the first line is, I heard you got a nigga but you don't want to be with him. You feel me? So that was like a real situation that happened in the song. And then I came back home and I was like, you know what, I'm about to record and just talk about what, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so but the moral of the story is called Hit My Line, so I got the number.
Right. So it's like, you see how he kindly just apologized to niggas. Like I don't be meaning to blitz you bitches like it's 4th and inches all on the goal line. I don't like it. They just trip and fall into my grave.
Listen, we was in New York City a couple years back. It was a couple fellas there. There was a big name recording artist there. And so one dude was showing us this one chick. She was bad. And this artist said, "Oh, don't stop. Don't fucking post it." He said, "Damn, why? Chris Brown, see how he sliding the DM and it's over."
Oh yeah, yeah. We get things in there.
You know what's crazy though? That might,
You didn't show up.
Nah, truthfully, I respond to DMs. Or if I show you my DMs, you'd be like,
you
be like, alright.
Oh, so do you got a DM metaverse?
What you mean?
Where you just got a whole
It's a whole
playground in the DM.
I don't really, cause that shit dangerous. Like, I'm gonna be real. I don't like to be on there cause I ain't finna DM no shit that you just screenshot and told
But you
about.
respond to it.
Of course, hell yeah. You see what this damn DM unless you wanna respond. But I'll be real, like I don't be out there like I don't be thirsty. So the difference of a nigga like, yeah, don't do that, Chris Brown gonna see. Don't do that. She gonna see me, and I ain't gonna see her. Like she gonna shit out. However I meet her, it's gonna happen. Hey, how you doing? I'm gonna speak. If she beautiful, hey, how you doing? I ain't gonna be weird. I'm not thirsty. That shit take too much energy, bro. I gotta sing, dance, all that other shit. I can't be thirsty.
You say you backspit to some pussy.
Man, I'm sure, yeah. No, hold on now. No, I ain't say that. I said that I'm not gonna go out there and overstep. I ain't gonna try to. But if you know what I'm saying, we having to step in the same direction. Sorry. I apologize.
We find them rappers be in the club.
Yeah.
They be there with their bitches.
Nah, the face on niggas in the club, they do this.
That's that nigga Chris.
Nah, certain niggas be cool and be like, alright, for sure. Other niggas like, fuck.
You saw a nigga do that before?
Huh?
You saw a nigga do that?
Man, but and me, I'm not like, I ain't saying no names, but I done seen other artists walking this motherfucker like, what you doing? Put a dick on the damn forehead or something. I'm like, man, hold on, what the hell is you doing? How did you put out there like that? But I don't walk in the club like that. I try to go to the back. I go somewhere else and be over there with my weed, the music playing. I'm vibing, we can vibe. They gonna make their way over there. But it's not my fault.
You know the industry is a small world.
Yeah, man.
You ever been in a building with, you ain't gotta say no names, but you ever been in a building and, like, alright, you might be in a studio or something, a girl in there with a rap and you walk in, and it's like,
She changed locations.
She changed locations, it's just like,
Yeah. But I'm gonna keep it real though. Like, yeah. Wow, yeah. A lot. But my thing is, bro, I ain't finna hate on your game or make it obvious, bro. If I walk up in there, they'll be like, hey, start acting different.
Yeah, this ain't that.
I don't know how. I don't know. I ain't even know y'all knew each other. The crazy part is I don't know if he in love with you or not. So I don't know you.
Right. Right. That's how you supposed to be.
Hey, I don't know if he in love with you or not.
No, you don't know what other dudes is doing. Like, my thing is, I got homegirls. They just kicking. Like, everybody's kicking. I already got homegirls. Like, badass homegirls.
Yeah, Judge is cool.
I'm chilling. I'd rather, as long as my day one homies is around, and females, my day is complete. Like,
So when you at the crib and you have all the females over, do you use them as testers
what you mean?
for the music?
Hell yeah.
Is they the best testers?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
you fucking
Hell
right.
yeah. I think because at the end of the day, like, you gonna get somebody like, who's DJing if it's whack. So like, my thing is like, I fuck with just people in general. So it's always like a test. Like, I might feel a certain way about a song. I'll be like, well, I might just be clueless. Somebody else might not like this song. So I'll just test it. I'll do that a lot of times, like my functions or parties and stuff that we have. Yeah.
That's the best way to find out what songs my
Hell
mother's like.
yeah. And just see what they naturally gonna like.
Right. Because you might like a song of who's as an artist because of, you know, that's your artist.
That's where you at.
You know what I mean? Right.
Somebody else might be like, nah, that's cool.
Yeah, this the one right here. And then you have another group of people over there like, play that second song you played again. You like,
Oh, it was listening. Yep. Oh God, when they do that, I'll be like, for sure, break that down. Got you, noted.
Welcome to another episode of $1 Million Worth of Game Business Spotlight Delay. We got my man Mike B on here, man. Listen, man. High ticket sales. I'm talking about he's going to give people game on how to close, man. He's going to close for you. I'm talking about this is a real game. Mike, tell them about your story. Tell them where you come from. Used to be a banger. San Diego. Now where you at, Mike?
Okay, quick story. So, born to a 6-year-old single mom. Both my parents did not graduate high school. I was a knucklehead kid, OCD, ADD, could not fucking focus. Everybody thought I was slow. They wanted me on medications and shit. I went to high school. I was born in 84. So I was born in 84 and fucking been influenced on Pac and Big and Snoop, and I wanted to be a gangster. I wanted to live it right now, to this very day. Still got the paisley on. So I started banging. I started robbing. I started doing dumb shit, man. I walked out of high school with 2 felonies, man. Was never a bad dude. Got out of high school with my felonies. Got into corporate America. Went into corporate America, man. I'm telling you like this. I got a gift where anything I'm into, like I just beat it to death. Whether it's video games or wrestling or football, if there's something I'm on, I beat it to death. So I went into corporate America in a 3-year span. While I became a president at a fucking college at 29 years old, man. Nobody could believe this shit. College, UEI college, became a fucking president. Nobody believed it. Ain't no new. My shit was expunged. You can't find it. So I moved up, and I'm doing good. And, you know, things are kind of cool. And then the school loses accreditation. Like, yeah, the school's out. School's done. Shut the whole shit down. So one day I was a president, and the next day I was unemployed. I can't look at a fucking mirror. I was like, president, Hugo boss. Next fucking day, listen to me. I was like, out. Done. You know, like unemployment line type shit, right? Toasted. So that happened, and I told my wife, I said, you know, I broke every record in corporate. I fucking became, you know, the top person, top president, top advisor. I said, this will never happen to me again. This ain't never gonna happen. She's like, what are you thinking? I was like, I'm starting my own shit. She's like, what are you gonna start? I was like, I'm gonna make money on the internet. I'm gonna build websites. I'm gonna do Facebook ads. And she was like, I support you. So I got in that shit, right? And my first 12 months, I made more money every single month for 12 months straight. And then I got into Facebook ads. And I scaled up in 2019. I scaled up to $250,000 in 2019 per month. And I was never good at ads. I was never good at marketing. I was good at sales and closing. So I was like a internet marketer. You know, I was a sales guy disguised as an internet marketer. Okay, so everything in my trainings and my courses were all sales and shit. So I met a cat. He's like, Mike, you ain't no internet marketer, man. You're a sales cat. You're like he's like, I know Grant, I know Jordan Belfort, I know all these, you know, like you are the dude in sales. Stop fucking around and go do the sales shit. He's like, everything you talk about, man, it's all about sales. Everything you talk about, you're not even good at funnels. I was like, what are you saying? This guy's like, go find the world's biggest internet marketers and go close those fucking deals. He was doing fucking drugs and alcohol and shit.
And then that destiny, did I fulfill everything? Okay, I understood the assignment. All right, cool. Feel me? And I always approach my music like that. That's why I think I've been consistent. I don't try to gauge it too much, but I still am in tune with what's going on and be like, all right. They be like, no, we don't want to hear this type of shit, bro. We want to hear the singing. Give me the R&B. Got you. Okay, give us some party shit. Got you. You feel me? So I'm always like listening to my audience, but I still know how to steer the boat. You feel me?
Now, was it ever times like, right, he's a dancer too, so y'all got shit in common, because I told you he was with the Happy Few. Now, a lot of his moves, he's seen a lot of artists do and stuff, like a lot of his shit came from people they emulated. Did you ever see somebody like, hey, I'm gonna take that piece right there, I need that in my arsenal?
In this day and age now, with TikTok and everything on, there's a lot of different dancing stuff that even I'll showcase on my page or showcase different dancers or routines and stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't say I would steal a dance routine because that's like, it's kind of lame. Like you trying to be like, it's like me putting on the Michael hair and the glove, and every show I just do his song and be like, nah, that's me. Hell no, like so. Like I try to bring light to the dancers. Like a lot of, like I like to post them and get them their recognition and shit. Hell, the talented motherfuckers out there. So even in videos, let's say we use like if we did like whatever them dances is, like the nene, whatever the fuck it would be. I would either reach out to the people, or when we do certain videos where we can showcase it, get the type person that everybody knows who did it to do their part, and then we'll do it together. Like I always want to absorb information, but I never want to like copy anything. You feel me? So I always want to give it a shine, and like, nah, this person started this, but shit, I did it with it. I fuck with it. You feel me? Yeah. So, because I feel like if you don't do that, then they're like, oh, he's fucking fake. He just taking everything.
Damn, you gonna have, and it ain't even like, because it won't even affect you at all, because a lot of times the motherfuckers don't really be that big, so you a little 85 comments, that's not nothing, but it's like, okay, you made the dance up, you popular for it, I ain't got no problem with giving you some light.
Yeah, thanks.
I ain't got no problem with letting you shine, changing your motherfucking life possibly. And for them, you know, you the realest motherfucker. Look, man, Chris called me up, got me in the video, yo, that shit was crazy today. That's some shit they gonna remember for the rest of their life.
Shit forever.
And, you know, it really wasn't nothing to you.
Right now we trying to get the African boys that be dancing.
Yeah, oh, the little kids, they be killing that shit.
Yeah, they did a couple different videos. They even danced with my poster, holding my poster. I was like, you know what? You gotta get to them. You gotta get to them. I'm trying to. So they already know we probably reaching out to their peoples, but like, trying to get them in the video, just to, like I said, what you said, to showcase their talent.
Yeah, they be
not to be like, oh, Chris trying to steal their shit. Hell no, they gonna have a whole section. They gonna be getting all by themselves.
Right.
You will see them go crazy. So, you know, I welcome that, bro. Like, it's so many different talented people, athletically, creatively. But there's not a lot of like mainstream markets that we can benefit from. It's barely markets that we can showcase music videos on. So I feel like it's our duty in a way to kind of keep that shit alive. Like, it's not a lot of artists that dance, so you gotta think about how much does that impact the dance world. Or you got people that need to feed their families or do stuff like that. So like I know my dancers cherish going on the road with me as much as I cherish them being on the road with me. Like, you feel me? Because it's just like, look, it's real, and hopefully, like as time progresses, we don't have that lane as scarce as it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's more artists that continuously do this dance shit. It's like a lost art. You know what I'm saying?
Like your dancers, they getting paid and then having an experience doing something that they love to do.
Yeah, facts.
So, you know, they even living their dreams to you.
Yeah, I be learning from them. Like,
absolutely.
Hey, it's Paige Harris. I work with Lester Crest. I basically run things over there while he takes credit. Anyway, I've got a new sideline you might be interested in. High-end scores, taken elegantly, using the latest tech. There's a terabyte truck on Warstock I can turn into our nerve center. Get one, we'll store it under your club, and get moving on this immediately.
Shit to bring to me, handstands, one finger fucking stands, everything. I want teach me how to show me. You stand up on your big toe and that's it. Just one fucking toe. That's what they supposed to be doing. You feel what I'm saying? Because if they just coming around and not bringing nothing to the plot, it's like...
Nah, but it's different though in the dance world where we at. Like, because usually when you do shit, and when I rehearsal, that's us having the relationship to make that magic happen. Because whenever they're not doing that, if we're not on that type of time, I've seen other artists how dancers be with them. They gotta be quiet. It's a whole bunch of extra shit that come with it. They got the heat on inside, making them sweat. Man, I go in there, like, what the hell is y'all? You're gonna kill these people, man. And look, I gotta stay on stage and sing and dance. They ain't got that much long on stage. Y'all at least give them a little leeway. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Only time we can get on them is I tell my dancers like this, or anybody that's on stage with me, like no matter what, even if I'm the boss or not, I'll be like, look, that's just one goal. I don't give a fuck what you do before or after the show. I just need you on stage for an hour and a half. Just do your shit. If I can't mess up, you can't mess up. So that's all I need us to do. Just show up and be good.
That was different for him. You said an hour and a half because, see, this is why he's not a dancer like you. Because the Happy Feet boys, they're going to party for like 10 minutes, dancing all out.
And they be done. They be tired.
He hits and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They older though, so you know they.
Yeah, it was old niggas. They still get together, like have little meetings and shit.
First of all, he was DM way before Instagram. Am I lying?
I had my little moments.
Dancing machine. No, he was dancing machine. We used to go to this club named Dances back in the day, right? I told you he used to warm my bitches up for me. Get out there. He be out there waving in mine. He all on my rod. He danced with all the bitches all night. Ron, you talking about the king of blue balls? I'm talking about Dick harder than Chinese arithmetic. Yeah, he don't get no action at the end of the night.
It didn't always turn out like that. Sometimes I had a good night.
Well, yeah, he had no good nights. He went to jail and you lost your virginity in jail. She talking about.
I'm telling you, Chris, it helped a lot of times. Because I was a dancer. See, back in the day, motherfuckers were too cool to be dancers.
That's what I'm saying. Right now.
Right now?
Everybody too
cool. You have a motherfucker. And that's why I don't even go to clubs. Because I can't. I went to one when I was home, but I was like,
it's nothing.
I was like, hold up. You know, because I did all that time in jail, so I come home, I'm like, hold up. Why is all these niggas standing around? Niggas, all this ass out here is I'm tripping?
He lost his mind in the club.
I said, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he looked around, he said,
ain't nobody dancing with the
that might be the same reason why, you know what I'm saying, somebody else's lady might be over with us. You know what I'm saying? They want to look too cool. I don't want to stand around all that.
That motherfucker, he lost his mind in the club. He said, ain't nobody did. You know, he did 20 years, so when he come home, he still think it's going to be dollar parties. You know, he think it's that type of shit. He talking about, ain't no motherfucker might dance me. Because he talking about, there was more motherfuckers dancing at the prison prom. I
didn't understand. Listen, this is what I didn't understand. I said, hold up. Did motherfuckers come to the club for the bitches or the niggas because they got the jewelry on, all this clothes on? Y'all the fuck over there and all these, what the fuck? And the chicks dancing with themselves.
I'm telling you, like, gangsters forgot how to dance. Like, out here in LA, though, most of all the gangsters know how to dance.
Oh, yeah.
They know how to dance. So, yeah, it's a little different out here. But we go to parties, it's just like everybody knows all the hip-hop cookouts, ain't nobody getting in the pool. You got a pool there, you be like, all of us just standing around the pool. Like, what the fuck? I thought this was a pool party.
I thought you throw the chicks in the pool, you get in the pool.
Shit, we do that. You can't do that now. They got a whole bunch of organizations. You can't throw no girl in no pool. So
I ain't saying like, yo, we having fun. Like,
we having fun, man. Listen, man.
Fucking up their weave is not fun.
And let me tell you something. I'll tell you right now, I ain't none of them niggas jumped in.
Boy,
a lot of them watching feet. You don't want more than them motherfuckers.
Oh, God.
You want more than that AP. You want more than that rolling. Stop fucking working.
Yeah.
That's why I would have been 4 niggas in the pool. They all got ribs. Anybody else get the fuck off me?
Don't bring that diamond test in the party. Lock the door. Bring the diamond test in the party is over.
What niggas disappeared. Yeah, niggas turned to David Copperfield to get the fuck out of there. That's why I wasn't nobody in the pool. That's just the reality of it.
A lot of parties be lit though. I can't lie. We try to make people dance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Good dance. But see, some of my country ass cousins, they don't.
it's like you come to, first of all, like, who the fuck coming to a party at Breezy?
I ain't want to come here upset. But you know,
why you mad, nigga? You mad? See, you good.
I mean, it's nice, your little house and everything. Why you upset? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we deal with some crazy people.
Yeah, because you know what? There be some motherfuckers out here that's just mad at nothing. They mad at life. At life.
You're
You don't be understanding what motherfuckers go through sometimes, because you finally talk to a motherfucker and you be like, damn, life got you in a button and get Russian hand locked right now. Shit. I understand why you're angry. You know,
I mean, I'll be understanding. I don't understand if you do it.
Right. Fuck, I do that. Right. I invite you to my crib that you're supposed to come in like this. What's up? Hey, Breezy. Yeah.
Hey, for people who think I should be dancing in the club, like, when I go in the club, I always got people in the
What you about to do? You about to go?
How would I look? Busting it while I'm talking about getting off, full popping, everything in the corner, just getting off, which is nothing but lights and shit from everybody.
Go, Chris. Next day, the blogs killing you. Yeah,
look at him.
Yeah, yo.
Doing that shit yesterday.
No shrooms.
That's all I'm doing. I'm like, wait.
You can't even have fun. You be over there, yeah, Chris Brown on shrooms in Hollywood. Yeah, they're like,
You say about really start getting down, like really start going crazy on the dance.
see me, I'll be like, that nigga love dancing. Look at him.
See, that's different. All the girls in there be like, definitely not. No buzz.
They be thinking something like, he got too much fucking energy. He gonna fuck the leather off of it. That nigga just did 44 spins. I ain't going home with that nigga. My vagina can't record a spin. That nigga got too much energy, bitch. And I ain't locking it all this shit. He asked my number, but I ain't answering. We're crazy. Hey, but listen, man, we appreciate you for coming on, man. Album.
Yes. Breezy album, y'all. But shit, you know it's long overdue for me to come in, man. So I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah.
To the crib, man, because I ain't gonna lie.
And man, I feel we gotta have a rematch later because he really won on the basketball court. And that shit, I hate losing.
It was easy. No, you know,
see, listen, now he wanna ask.
it was easy. And you know, Eddie had this big ass dog out there trying to intimidate motherfuckers.
I hope we got the footage to show how he didn't want to play at all after that.
Right. No. And it's just a life. Just for the record, you know we love this nigga. You know what I mean? Because
Hey, boss.
we was bit.
Whenever they're not doing that, if we're not on that type of time, I've seen other artists out dancers agree with them. They gotta be quiet. It's a whole bunch of extra shit that come with it. They got the heat on inside, making them sweat. Like, I go in there, like, what the hell is y'all? You're gonna kill these people, man? Hey, look, I gotta stay on stage and sing and dance. They ain't got that much long on stage.
That was different. You said an hour and a half because, see, this is why he's not a dancer like you, because the Happy Feet boys, they're going to party for like 10 minutes, dancing all out.
And be done. They be done.
Feet hurts and shit.
Yeah, you know, they older though, so you know they.
Those old niggas, yeah, they was like, they still get together, like have little meetings and shit. First of all, he was DM way before Instagram. Am I lying? I had my little moments. Dancing machine. No, he was dancing machine. We used to go to this club named Dances back in the day, right? I told you he used to warm my bitches up for me. Fuck out of here. Get out there. He be out there waving their mind. He balls on our rod. He danced with all the bitches all night. Riding. You talking about the king of blue balls? I'm talking about dick harder than Chinese arithmetic. Yeah, he don't get no action at the end of the night. It didn't always turn out like that. Yes, it did. Sometimes I had a good night. Well, he had no good nights. He went to jail. You lost your virginity in jail. I'm telling you, Chris, it helped a lot of times. Because I was a dancer. See, back in the day, motherfuckers were too cool to be dancers.
That's what I'm saying right now.
Right now?
Everybody too
cool. You have a motherfucker. And that's why I don't even go to clubs. Because I can't. I went to one when I was home, and I was like,
it's nothing.
I was like, hold up. You know, because I did all that time in jail, so I come home, like, hold up. Why is all these niggas standing around niggas? All this ass out here is I'm tripping? He lost his mind in the club. I said, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, he looked around, he said, ain't nobody dancing.
That might be the same reason why, you know what I'm saying, somebody else's lady might be over with us. You know what I'm saying? They want to look too cool. They don't want to stand around all that.
That motherfucker, he lost his mind in the club. He said, yo, ain't nobody dead. You know, he did 20 years, so when he come home, he still think it's going to be dollar parties. You know, he think it's that type of shit. He talk about, ain't no motherfucking body dancing in here. I was fucked up. He talk about, there was more motherfuckers dancing at the prison prom than
my whole thing, Chris, listen. I didn't understand. Listen, this is what I didn't understand. I said, hold up. Did motherfuckers come to the club for the bitches or the niggas because they got the jewelry on, all this clothes on, and y'all the fuck over there and all these, what the and the chicks dancing with themselves.
I'm gonna tell you, like, gangsters forgot how to dance. Like, out here in LA, though, most of all.
Super slice and big vibe.
He gets the state. J.U. Milford, oh my lord, chanting and spelling and invoking demons. Thank you for the super chat.
Why do you be using a little, you be using the J Prince?
having it over my
J
ear.
Prince AirPod
It starts
shit?
to hurt. Like, after you're doing mad podcasts in a day, like, my ears start to hurt from just having the fucking headphones on it, so I just...
You don't need it. You're professional.
But I want to make sure that I know when they're not close enough to the mic and shit, you know?
Well, you got a producer.
Yeah, but, like, him jumping in is kind of awkward, whereas, like, I don't know, I like hearing it, though. I find it very, I don't know, keeps me in the zone.
Do you have, like, compared to what I do, right, even here, we don't have, like, camera operators, DPs, PAs, an actual producer or director. I feel like when I go by your spot, you have a lot of moving parts. I feel like you're a photographer. That's the role. I feel like you have, like, a PA, maybe somebody who's, like, watching social media or something, right? Or, like, a social editor or a social person, right?
We have, like, a couple editors in-house. We have, like, our social media person in-house for most of the interviews. We have a photographer. And then Josh, I guess, is just basically kind of running the show.
Okay, my friend, you want a popular club? You gotta know how to charm. A compliment here, a free bottle there, and there, and there. It's way more free bottles than compliments, which is why you're gonna get me a shipment of champagne. When it's here, I'll hand it out, and we'll be flying.
Right. So Gimlet is the company they bought, and they were going to produce a show. I felt it wouldn't be as natural. I hate big sets. I hate when it's not intimate.
Right.
You know, you should know me. Like, I've done the best content I believe in my life just being in my house, drunk off some Henny. Like, it's not about the amount of people or how it looks. It's just about how authentic can you be. Because what happens with these lights and these cameras, people freeze up. And people, like, I've had the best conversations with people outside. As soon as they come in here, they're like, oh shit, we're now being taped. So for me, I remove all that. I don't need 50 people watching me where somebody has to be like, we're counting down 3, 2, no, nigga, let's just go. Like, does that ever make you like...
I mean, I feel like our vibe is very laid back, and like somehow a bunch of people being around, smoking weed and kicking it and shit, like kind of adds to the ambiance of it. But that's what our new spot. That was kind of like my whole goal. Is like, I just want to make this like the most fun place that it could ever be, and that's like the reason why we're building the booth so that people could rap and like make music there and shit too, just so we can kind of make it like. I just feel like the vibe is the most important thing for sure. And in terms of like the content of like the cameras and everything, like I do think that that's something that's like worth competing on, and to an extent. Like I think Vlad, his platform is better because of the fact that he spent hella money on 4K cameras like 4 or 5 years ago.
It's not a camera though. So it's like, I think it's all about dynamic.
Yeah. But if you can
focus on your quality as well, because I was always like anti-quality. Like I filmed all my fucking early shit on iPhone, you know, which is to me that's like aesthetically similar to you still doing the news with just the GIFs and just the audio.
Yeah,
you know?
I still love it.
It's just like, you know, I don't know, like me and you I think are similar in that way, where we think that the content should be able to stand alone without any focus on production or whatever. But then I don't know, like it's still I think it's worth putting some money into at a certain point, just because think about it, like some rapper like, or they might have like a PR team who doesn't really understand the culture 100%, but when they're thinking about where they want them to do their first big interview, they might be like, well, this one looks kind of bummy and this one looks high quality, so we're gonna go with them. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately that's the case too. But I think both could be true and both could exist, right? For example, like sometimes people come in here and they're like, yo, what happened to Miami overview? Like they want, I'm like, nigga, let's let somebody else do it. You get me? And also like, you know, some of my biggest viral moments come from like I just remember Drake sending me some shit recently, and he was not clowning, but he was like, yo, this is hilarious. But it was me reacting to his music, and it's some shit from my stream, and like somebody made like a whole little montage of it, and most of those moments, I was on a chair with like a broken leg, just in the corner of a room with just like a couple of foam around. Like it was kind of low quality, but these are internet moments that are like classic, and that's why I can appreciate both. Where it's like great production doesn't always mean classic moments, and sometimes just kind of being authentic, where people can maybe relate more, is gonna help you a little more in your classic.
Just vibe in general. Like the vibe is just such a fucking incredibly important thing, because I've seen people do Vlad and then come and do an interview with me after and be like a totally different person, like just loosened up to a certain extent. And I don't know if it's because Vlad's shit is just a set, it's just like a dark little room. It's not really
like smoking weed and shit like that, man.
Yeah, I feel like we can go in there with a different energy sometimes.
Well, I told Vlad the only way I'll do this shit is we have to be there together.
Right.
So I don't care, you know, we did our first one in New York, but even if it's LA, I would never do it with him brings a laptop, okay? But even when we're there, there's not a camera on Vlad. Vlad got a bunch of notes and whatever he's prepared with, and it's more like, what is he hitting you with, as opposed to you guys just having a general conversation.
That's definitely his genius, and that's his personality. For sure, for people who know him, is like, I'm not surprised that Vlad basically became the dude who comes in super prepared and has the exact things, because he's a very meticulous dude like that, you know, for sure.
Yo, I always just give Vlad his flowers just because I remember people thinking Vlad and how he did shit was probably the worst way, and turns out he's probably one of the biggest, you know, media outlets right now for hip-hop. You know, people used to be like, oh, that type of format, and I think that goes into what we do now too. It's like people used to look at, I was watching a Breakfast Club interview the other day, right? Like the Pivot was on there, and I'm like, the Breakfast Club is an institution, but I'm wondering if people kind of realize, like, yo, we'd rather watch like 50 different outlets talk to someone, the same person, rather than the Breakfast Club.
Right.
And that's no indictment on, like, you know, I think Charlamagne just like the most talented person. I still believe that.
Right.
But it's just like, it feels too corporate. It's just not like a bunch of, like, I'd rather watch an 85 South show.
Like, what's the identity of the Breakfast Club, you know? Like, that's kind of like a hard question to answer. Whereas, like, I feel like your shit or my shit or Vlad's shit, like, the identity's kind of more clear. I feel like, and because even, like, okay, they do a lot of grown-ass rappers, but I feel like Drink Champs is more the spot for grown-ass rappers these days, right?
I'll tell you what I realized, and, you know, again, for anybody in Charlotte, if you do see this, you know, of course I fuck with you. But I'm comparing, like, the Breakfast Club to a lot of these smaller outlets, because I remember walking into Complex, and I remember telling this one guy, he was in charge of video, he got fired like 4 days later. But he's like, yo, he said, I put 5 people assigned to you to watch your YouTube channel. I was doing crazy. I was like 35 million a month, right? Just like, we wanted to know why you were winning. And what I realized about corporations is that it's like, people like authenticity. People know that this is why, like, you know, people are using sets in barbershops. This is why when you come on somebody's podcast, you're smoking weed. It's just more authentic than just walking into a radio station that just seems kind of uptight.
Right.
And that's one of the things, like, I just realized is putting podcasts broadcast just way out there. Like, when I'm watching your shit, it's kind of like, it feels like shit's going on all around, and the conversation is just fluid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember starting out and trying to be the best interviewer ever. These days, I'm just trying to get the best authentic vibe ever.
Yeah.
You get me? It doesn't matter if you're asking before it was like, oh, you're gonna ask the hard-hitting questions. Now it's just like, how comfortable could you get them on the phone?
I used to put so much emphasis into, like, literally just listening to their albums and feeling like, reading articles about artists and, like, just wanting to have all these, like, really specific questions. And for sure, like, I want to be prepared now, but I also just feel like probably the more important factor is just that I'm in a good place. Like, I'm as calm and as chill as I can be in that moment, and that everything is just, like, very relaxed. Like, for sure, yeah, once you get past, like, just being good at asking questions or having X amount of questions in your head that you want to get done by the end of the interview, for sure, like, the vibe is massive.
I'm going to give you a compliment, and this is rare, but everything I ever say is sincere. Because I remember saying this to you, because I'm so obsessive about the space. I felt there was a time that your platform was going in the direction where I felt like, and I don't think this is a bad thing, but for me it was critical because of how my platform is. I was like, Adam, I think you're about to lose the fact, and I don't know if you care about it, the fact that you're the star of it. Like, I remember saying, well, I'm like, you can't have like Selena and other people who are doing things.
Selena.
We're gonna talk about that, her too. Just doing bigger things on your platform. But I think over the last 2 years, and I've watched you, I think you've gained a lot of what I like. People these days say to me like, you talk a lot of shit. Like you're at the point you just kind of let it hang. I think you're there too. You're a little bit less unapologetic. You don't really take too much shit. You defend yourself, right, and you stick to an opinion. Before you were kind of really bland, and I always looked at you and I'm like, it's kind of like I was always like, it's kind of like girl backward, but it's like, you gotta be the guy.
I was just doing interviews for like the first 4-5 years of No Jumper, and like even the No Jumper show, doing that every week, we're only 3 years in on that. So it's like, really in terms of like putting myself out there, like that's one thing I realized at a certain point was that I had built my entire platform. I think around like 2019, I realized I built my entire platform on just doing interviews, and we didn't have any consistent content. There's nothing that we could like rely on, which it sucks for the viewer, because then the viewer gets frustrated because it's like, okay, you interview some porn star, and you interview some drill rapper, and you interview, like everybody subscribes to the channel and has like different interests, like there's a lot of people where if I interview some rapper from O-Block, that's it for them. And if there's a lot of people, if I interview a porn star, that's it for them. And it's like, it wasn't until we had the No Jumper show, and then at the end of the day, and the House Phones show, and the Sharp show, and everything, that we kind of like had this consistent flow. And the thing that I think is like super important now is that we really, like, we kind of get more views on inter-office politics and dynamics, like us talking about each other, than like even talking about the biggest fucking news stories, which is kind of crazy at a certain point. Like, just the fact that people are that interested in hearing about some shit from people who are like not even that established on the platform, but just like the drama of it. I mean, that's the goal for sure.
It's like, I've always said that eventually you become self-sustainable once you stop relying on people outside. So the drama within, the happenings within, the life updates within, the banter between becomes the thing that people want to tune in for.
Right.
And I think that's good. But I've realized, like, these days when I hear whether you respond to it, like, I like the little pump thing was good. I like that you're not folding.
Right.
And the reason why I like that you're not folding, because I'm telling you, and by the way, when I say this is not to belittle or shit on anyone else, because I believe there's going to be a lot more people that enter the ranks. But I solely believe, me, you, DJ Vlad, Sean Cotton, when it comes to independent new media, I think we're there in terms of controlling our own sectors of it.
Right.
I think we're all within culture. You might go certain aspects out, I might go certain aspects out, and we all are in it. And I remember like, some people like, I got a lot of hate during that time when we went at it, like, when I was so upset. But like, people were like, yo, why would you talk to him? And I was just like, yo, Adam has to know he's, like, I know I'm the guy. You have to know you're the guy. And what I mean by it's not, I know you don't have an ego like I do, or you don't think it's
I'm just a little understated, you know?
Yeah, but that gets checked or compromised every time when an artist goes bad on you. And I thought the little pump thing, I thought the old Adam would have just apologized and kept it moving.
But that's your fault. You kind of, because I seen a clip of you on Twitch one time that actually like really made an impact on me where I think you were talking about Perp and maybe Pump and like a couple other people, and you were kind of just like, the game has changed. Like, and I'm sure you said this type of thing like a million times, but you're like, the game has changed.
Facts.
You know, like you were just speaking very objectively about your sales are probably like 5% of what they used to be, and you know, we can talk about that. Like, how can we not talk about that? Like, what good are you or me if for every person that we interview, we have to just run PR for them afterwards and just act like their career's in a great space? Like, I don't want to be friends with anyone or be like rapper friends, fake cool friends with someone if I can't say, oh, you did some goofy ass shit in this situation, or your new album sold 10% of what your last album sold, or whatever. Like, because those things are objective. Like me saying Lil Pump fell off, or Lil Pump's, you know, I wouldn't even say it like that, but like his career is clearly not in the place that it was a couple years ago. It's like, what kind of friendship is this if I can't acknowledge the basic reality that's unfolding in front of us? Like,
And I think new Adam will do that. I don't think old Adam will. And speaking about that part too, right? This is where I got into, like, you know, my first...
Fantastic. Champagne is gonna flow tonight. Hey, I know it's tacky, but I'm the king of tack. I'm Gay Tony, for God's sake. Tony Prince. That's me.
This demographics we cover, they're cooler with you than they are with me. A lot of them.
I'm cool with a lot of underground rappers and shit, because we fuck with a lower level of rappers, generally speaking, than you do. So you're kind of like, you fuck with sometimes. Well, we have like a lot of people that like are not big, that sometimes get big, but some of them don't. But that's not.
Juice WRLD hanging out at the back of your store.
Like, they're so early on, like before anyone. Like, I remember like.
With you afterwards, that shit.
Yeah, we kept hanging out, shit, but like.
That's what I'm saying, like.
But he had like 50,000 plays on All Girls Are the Same at that time, which is pretty crazy because like everybody wanted to sign him then. Like all the A&Rs in LA were all going nuts trying to meet him.
Why didn't he sign him?
I mean, I was talking to him because that was when I was with Atlantic, and I remember saying to them, like, this is the dude, you gotta sign him, and they were like, honestly, he's gonna get, like, $4 million, and we just are not gonna do a deal that big, like, at that time, because it was APG, not Atlantic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that they were really necessarily trying to do the massive contract shit, you know? So, I mean, they were just like, Interscope's gonna give him, like, $4 million or some shit, and I was like, okay.
Why haven't we heard from you? You don't like PPI? We're a reputable firm. We've got work for you.
Same conversations I do. And this is why, going back to that conversation, there was some frustration with you. Because I was saying, Adam, I feel like you're acting ignorant because the audience doesn't know. And I'm very transparent. I'm like,
how about what?
Every call. So, all right. So let's think about our platforms. If there's a rapper coming out, they're signed this Friday, and they have a sizable budget. If they're calling me, they're calling you.
To do an interview or to buy promo?
Promo.
Right.
They're checking their bases. And when they see academics and they see no jumper, surrounded in the same cloud, they're going to want to get both. So when I was speaking about certain things, I'm speaking about it saying, I know you are privy to the same things that I am. And I felt like, I was like, yo, Adam, I feel like you're playing dumb with me.
But you know what? At that time, I think that you were basically like insinuating that we were taking money for things that we weren't taking money for.
No.
But then around that time too is when we started selling way more promo, because I just kind of realized, like, from hearing you talk about how much money you were getting from so many different labels, I just started to actually like talk to more people and figure out how we could sell more shit. Because I remember like feeling like you were kind of getting on my ass about some shit that, like, accusing us of basically being paid for certain things that we were not paid for, which maybe we should have been.
Well, it wasn't even that. It's like, for example, play this, right? I do all the, I don't know how you guys work. I do all the bookings for Off the Record myself, right? Spotify's just started to help out, and their priority usually is they have an app called Spotify Live, which they want to book people for more.
when I'm doing bookings, it's usually either people who I know who just hit me on the DMs, right? Or a few label people who I know that are like, hey, so-and-so's album coming up, could they do your podcast? I feel those same people, like for example, like a Rowdy Rebel or Bobby Schmurd. The reason why Bobby came here twice, like, these people hit us twice, right? I feel like they're also hitting you. And maybe, ended up doing that one. And maybe not every artist, but like around the same reach, right? So it wasn't about like promos and stuff like that. It was just like, when it comes to media companies, we're in the same realm where the same conversations that I'm privy to, which by the way, I know a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that maybe is in public that I don't say anything about, but so do you. And I felt like you weren't transparent then. I felt like you have been since then. But I felt like then it's either two things. You weren't transparent willfully, or you were just a horrible businessman. I was just like, yo, what were we talking about though? I mean, anything. It could be promos, it could be just how certain artists are moving around, it could be just anything with just like, bro, we're media companies. Like with media companies we do ads. With media companies, we're privy to certain information. With media companies, like, we know things that are within our business. And that's why I was like, you know, I mean, I'm moving the conversation along to say, like, I feel like you've become just way more transparent. So I'm really trying to give you credit. I think now, like, when I ever listen to you, like, you're pretty open with things that maybe the audience don't know. Because I'm the biggest proponent of that. I'll quickly spill all the quote-unquote tea. Because for me, like, the only person who I owe anything to is the audience. Right. So I don't really hold anything like, oh, yeah. So you don't want to burn your source. No, I'll never do that. Yeah. Like, I'll never. You know when somebody tells you, I'm sure you've been there, when somebody tells you something that's like the best thing ever. And you're just like, no, of course, no, never. You're just like, I can't do it because it's so obvious it came from this person that everybody knows I talk to. And it would just be too transparent, you know? That's what they think of me and the Tory. You kind of like got into that a little bit, but no, I know that's exactly it. Is that like anything you put out about the Tory thing, everyone's gonna assume Tory just handed it to you, right? What do you think about that? I've been interested. Like, I usually see clips or people send me clips of like discussing a bunch of stuff, and I don't know if I ever told you because I know sometimes I guess I'm saying felt certain type of way about certain things, but it would be only mostly if it's women related. That's it. If it's just like women private life related, we're like a lot of these teachers, oh Jesus, and I was really experienced. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's like if you were like, nah, I think I handled this wrong, I would just look at them and be like, hey, whatever. But I wonder, what do you think about the Tory Meg thing? Also, how I played it. I mean, I feel like we have kind of seen a different side of you come out in the sense of you, like, demonstrating that you are going to really be in the trenches of trying to get every last, like, bit of information early on, which I respect for sure, because I, like, you know, I just don't really got it in me to act like I give a fuck about the ins and outs. Like, that's the kind of thing that I would just really want, like, somebody on my team to be doing in an ideal situation. But I have liked how you handled it just in the sense of, like, I feel like you've been at the forefront of putting information out there. But, I mean, of course, if you're doing that, you're going to, you know, if you put out anything that's not official, everybody's going to call you a liar. And then if it ends up being true in the long run, it's like, how many of those people are doubling back and say, like, oh, he didn't lie? Yeah, I think people have realized that's been very interesting. This is what I've always said, and this is how I look at, like, you know, just, I hate calling it journalism, but because, like, in reality, I don't think you're a journalist. I don't think I'm a journalist, nor do I think Vlad's a journalist. I think we're entrepreneurs. And I think while being entrepreneurs, there is a journalistic element. But when you say you're a journalist, like, there's, like, certain rules and codes, like, I'm breaking all of those to get the shit. And I'm pretty sure you will, and Vlad will. None of us want the responsibility that comes with being like, I am a journalist. It's just so, like, outside the realm of any kind of attention you'd want, you know? I wouldn't mind having it, but when you say you are, you're pretty much trying to fight the fight with your hand handcuffed. Right. Like, I'll do anything to get the info.
Yeah. Like, I'll fuck your baby mama to get the info. But I feel like we probably could learn a lot from, like, what is done by, like, real journalists, in a sense. Because, like, that hits me sometimes when I'm reading a fucking article in the New York Times and I realize there's a dude writing an article about, like, a specific part of New York, and he just went there and just walked around and talked to people. And I'm like, damn, that's some real fucking journalism right there. And that kind of work is the kind he's basically doing what makes like small independent YouTube channels blow up. It's just getting in the trenches and talking to real people who actually have connections to stories, you know? I feel like that too. Yeah, but you do it digitally, which is good and the most efficient thing. Yeah, we're not walking around like with a tape recorder. For somebody who's starting from ground zero, that honestly is kind of what I would recommend. Is like you got to find something that you want to cover on a tiny level because everything that's big is kind of being paid attention to already. I would say to a certain extent, there are journalists that I would consider part of my team. Like for example, right? There's journalists that now, right? They'll work for.
Yeah, what you saying?
Guess what, bro?
What?
I'm like, I was driving to Mount Scarborough and I missed my exit.
Yeah.
I'm now in Pickering and some shit, bro.
Shit, where?
What are you saying?
Oh, fuck, I'm just streaming right now on GTA.
Oh, okay.
Getting followers still. What you say, you coming?
Fuck, man, cause I came out to Scarborough to pick up this girl, but like, fuck, you're a little further, huh? You're in Oshawa, right?
Yeah.
Man, I would come still, but it's waiting on me. Wait, you working tomorrow?
Yeah.
What time?
At 4 still.
Okay.
Yeah, say where? I thought you were in England still.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I came back like 2 weeks ago at least. Like,
Say
yeah,
where?
yeah, we were talking about something on that. Oh, I didn't know what happened is I lost my phone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I lost my phone. So when I messaged you, this is interesting. That's when I got it back.
Say where?
On the WhatsApp? Yeah, I lost
Yeah.
it. Actually, I didn't lose it. It's just stopped working. Everything stopped working, so I had to get a new phone, and then I got a new WhatsApp, and I had to find all my contacts, so I had to find your contact and message
Say
you.
where? So wait, you don't have an iCloud?
Bro, I don't know, because
Oh. Shit. So we're, yo, Fab, tell me how I got my G1, and then by December I have to do my G2, bro. And I really have a, yeah, bro, I really have a car on mine. Talk to Range Rover, like I wanted eh? Yeah, dog. Actually, I want the old one still, like 2014, because it's not expensive anyway. Mm. No way. Like the new one is more like futuristic, so like I like the old one, sport looking outside, like the big one, like. Yeah, because the thing is, like, fam, honestly, like, at work, as soon as I get a car, I'm gonna try to see if I can spend my business, because I'm just waiting for my. Do you know what's a HST, right? Like, for a business. Yeah, I just applied for that. Like, I'm waiting for that, because they wanted me to get it done at work. I talked to the lawyer, too. So this Thursday, I'm supposed to go to Toronto to just get those. Like I'm gonna do for the first time. I had it done, but like the documents when I moved, I lost the papers. So like my PR and stuff like that. And then yeah, bro, just cause I was thinking like if I get a whip, bro, like I can move like the far away from work. It's like Scarborough. It's like 20 minutes driving. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah, because to be honest, like, right now with my family, bro, I'm not talking to, not, like, it's not that I don't talk, it's like, hey, bro, I'm busy working, everybody's just upset because I don't risk text. Like, when did I become this bad person? Like, yeah. Yeah. But, bro, like Thursdays, I have free on Thursday, but like I just, I'm yeah, like, yeah, but I think I'm working those days because at my workplace it's like, it's too like I'm not a supervisor, but like it is and it's like it's busy. It's good still, but it's like they're putting me to work on the hardest day. I don't mind, cause to be honest, fam, like I need to just grind. Like I don't want to be working till 40. So okay. Bro, like that app, like lately, to be honest, I ain't even posting shit on my Discord, on the Discord, Twitch, cause like the last